C preprocessor Iceberg. For the sake of fun, for the sake of madness, there are some pre-processing tricks that will basically enable you to support features of higher level languages like C++ or Rust into C. Now there's a whole bunch of things in the C preprocessing Iceberg, and I'm only going to be covering the recursion part, or the recursive macros of C preprocessing, C macros that are recursive. So let's begin. So this is the so we start off from what is called painting blue. So your macro expands for the replacement, and it gets painted blue, and it can no longer expand. So that's when the term macros expansion is in recursive comes into play. Now let's see what we mean. Let's start a new fresh file. So cpp iceberg. So we are going to we have defined this recursive macro, which basically calls itself, but as for the general convention of C goes, it is not that easy. It's not really possible to do recursive calls to a macro, because macro isn't technically a function. So let's try to compile and run this. Let's see what happens. So let's say recursive takes s and it returns. So rec, let's give it a string option. Let's say fuck. Let's try to compile it and let's see what happens. So as you can see, it doesn't really recognize the declaration of rec in this defined directory. So define rec s, so the rec macro is not really registered in until the definition actually is complete. So we cannot define it like that. So let's do another trick. Let's have stringify. So it basically takes anything, any token, and basically stringify it. So stringify s or we want to do VARs, let's say variadic number of macros. So stringify 1 and then the stringify 1, stringify 2, and stringify 2 is basically we give it the stringify operator and it's done. So let's try stringify now. And let's see if we see the same error. So at some point we want to include standard IO because we want to use printf, and we don't want some implicit definition warnings. And let's compile it. It compiles, and as you can see, it just expands to rec the function rec file. So it doesn't really realize that rec has been defined. So what we have to do in order to circumvent it is, let's say we define another function, which is, let's say rec1, which knows no parameters and returns the function itself. So we're tricking the macro system, preprocessing system, to basically register rec as being defined. So rec s, instead of rec s, is you want to do rec1, and then call and then s, and let's give it s. So as you can see, rec is getting painted blue because rec no longer expands recursively. So in order for it to expand, let's see, we need to do another trick, which is to force the preprocessor to expand it even more. So let's generate empty, which is not going to be anything, and define force expand, and it takes f and returns f, and we expand empty, and let's see if we give f expand and then rec1, which is gonna return rec1, then it's calls, then it returns rec, and then it's gonna, let's see what happens. So as you can see, we have fuck as our, so instead of this parenthesis, instead of this coding, we just fuck and fuck rec1. And if you want to avoid the painting blue part, what do we have to do is, let's say we want to have a variadic number of arguments, s and va args. Alright, that's about it. Let's see what happens. Rec fuck. So that's not really what we want. So what we need to do is, let's put va opt here and see the magic. So it only follows fuck once because there's only one argument. Let's say we want to do fuck you and fuck you because it's again getting painted blue. So in order to avoid that, we need to define some expand. Let's put va opt here and see the magic. So it only follows fuck once because there's only one argument. Let's say we want to do fuck you and fuck you because it's again getting painted blue. So in order to avoid that, we need to define some expand va args. Expand 1, so it's going to be expand 2, and since we have 3 for now, the number of arguments, expand 4. And what expand 4 is going to contain is itself. It's the direct categorical value. Now basically call it through expand. But something is missing. let's have it, since we are having arguments s and we want to have fi. I still don't know why this is the case. Oh, expand 1, expand 2, expand 2, expand 3, and expand 3. Alright, now it should work. So let's say fuck you, and we give another argument, and fuck you, as you can see. So we can say, we can even modify it such as that we can greet. So let's say fuck you, me, everyone. So fuck you, fuck me, fuck everyone. So this is the recursive call. Now there's so what's going on actually is that it forcing, expand is basically forcing the recursive function to not get painted blue. So as many stacks of function calls we have, the much recursive depth we could have. So I hope that's clear. It's not technically a recursion, but it technically kind of is actually a little bit recursive. So we have another approach to this, which is to say a recursive expand definition. So expand, this is the recursive expand, takes the variable argument and it basically expand. So we have defined f extend, expand, and we want to give expand one and call this with va args. So instead of our typical expand, let's define expand 2, expand 1, expand 1, which is going to just replace for the original name of the function, tricking the compiler into thinking that the expand has been, the macro has been defined. So it recursively calls that, but ends up painting blue. So let's use our newly defined expand. Let's see what happens. Alright, that's pretty cool. Not gonna lie. So if we say va, no, we don't need that. Everyone, you, we gave again you, and Jews, let's say. Let's see if it covers all of them. Well, not really. So in order to circumvent let's see what happens now. Fuck you, fuck me, fuck everyone, fuck you, Jews. So let's add another Alright, let's see. We can't get it to let's see. No way. Oh, this is what you should have done. So as you can see, fuck you, fuck me, fuck everyone, fuck you, and fuck juice. That has been completed. So you can definitely do this kind of recursive fuck you everyone, fuck you juice. So VA opt actually does everything good. Let's say fuck Jews, fuck America. So yeah, it greets everyone, and it greets in the best possible way. So that's pretty much it for our recursive macro definitions. And if you take a look at the Iceberg, it is right in the abyss. The macro expansion can be recursive. So in this video you learned and you went deep into the macro Iceberg, and you probably learned the abyss. So thank you for watching, and I will see you